Good morning, and welcome to the newly named Live with Steve O. Somebody pointed out to me that it was just like saying live with Steve O. And I thought, well, yeah, live with Steve O, but you know, we're going to share concepts and principles that are about life and living your life to the full. And so, you know what? Live with Steve O, also pretty cool too. So while I'm kind of sharing this to groups and stuff, I'm going to share it, and please feel free to do the same if you're just jumping on. Happy to do that. Share to a few little groups. Personal development group, yeah, share into a few of these people. Share. Anyway, that'll do. That's enough shares, I think, for now. Okay, so good morning. Thanks for joining. Hey, Mimi, how you doing? All the way from Mauritius. Thank you for joining me this morning. Hey, Darren J. Long time since the Cisco days, that's for sure. Good to see you. So yeah, guys, yeah, feel free to kind of jump on, tag some people in, invite some people. Just while we do a bit of housekeeping. If you are brand new, please just type hashtag new in the comments. If you're watching on replay, please type hashtag replay. And you know what? If you're someone who's seen me before, then again, please just type in there, hey, seen you before, you're awesome, whatever. Hey, Nisa, good to see you again. Mauritian from London. We've got a good Mauritian crowd on today. That's awesome. And Chloe Winner, good to see you jumping on too. Yes. We're going to go through some cool stuff today. So, man, I had a crazy busy week. It's been really awesome, though. You may have noticed that I have a different angle today, actually. I kind of, I bought one of these big monitors. You know, one of these like ultra wide monitors. I kind of feel like I want to show you, but I realized that I'm waiting for a new tripod to come. So this is kind of precariously balanced on top of my screen. So I can't really show you. But anyway, there's this awesome big wide monitor, which is like so big that when I'm looking at it, I have to kind of look from one side to the other because it's really, really wide. Looks amazing. But it meant that my normal place I put my camera had to be it can't be as far back as normal. So I thought, hey, you know what? Oh yeah, if you've seen it, you might have seen it. I posted on Facebook, so you might have seen it. I thought, let me just try a different angle, see how that works, you know. So hopefully the quality of this is looking pretty good. It looks kind of good on mine. And yeah, hopefully it does on yours too. Sound, of course, is hopefully awesome as well. So today, we mentioned last week, we talked about leadership and leading a team. So, but by the way, because I've titled everything now properly on my lives, I'm still learning how to do lives, you know. I've only done about 8 or 9. This is, I think, my 10th live. So, you know, on my 10th kind of episode, if you like, of lives. So if you want to look at any of the previous lives, some really, really good ones, I think. Certainly feedback has been great. Thousands of views. If you just type into your search, you just put live with Steve O, then you know, Facebook will kind of find all of those kind of previous episodes, and you'll be able to jump in and you know, pick some titles that you like the look of, and hopefully watch them, share them, and it gives you some value, benefits you, and you can utilize the skills to improve your life. Okay, live with Steve O, live with Steve O. Okay, so today I want to talk about the different levels of leadership. A lot of people are, you know, they're in leadership, or they think they're a leader. I always love the saying by John Maxwell that if you think you're being a leader, take a look behind you, and if no one is following you, then you're just taking a walk, right? Some of you, in fact, let me see some like love hearts or thumbs up or hand raises if you know leaders that think they're leaders, but no one's following them, right? You know, they're the ones that they talk a good game. They think, they say they're good. They talk about, some of them, you know what, are even teaching people about being leaders, but they're not good leaders themselves, you know. When you look at the people that are following them. So for me, you know, I know that I'm a leader because I have, you know, thousands of people that follow. I've also got, you know, teams of people all over the country that you know, are coachable to me, etc., mentors, mentees, whatever. So I know that, but I also recognize that the whole thing about being a leader is you're constantly learning how to be a better leader. Leadership is not something you just learn and master as a skill. It's something that you're developing all the time. So, you know, again, I love that phrase. If you think you're being a leader, take a look behind you. If there's no one there, you're just taking a walk. So John Maxwell wrote a book about the 5 levels of leadership, and you know, it's a great book. I definitely recommend you read it to get more of an insight into the kind of stuff I'm going to teach today. And I've just kind of tailored it a little bit to me, using language that I like and I use. Hey Shaheen, good to see you. But hopefully it's really going to learn. I've called mine the 6 levels of leadership. So the first level, okay, is what's called a title leader. Okay, so a title leader is, and you may have people like this who work in your day job. I hope I'm going to fit it all on the board, actually. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to start lower down. Let's, sorry to waste that paper. Let's start right down about here. Okay, so a title leader. Now, a title leader is like the lowest level of leadership, okay? A title level leader is someone that just thinks you should follow them because they have a title. So you may have a manager at work or somebody like that who says, but I'm the manager. You know, you do what I tell you because, you know, I've got a higher position than you. You have to remember that. I mean, and again, give me some love hearts or thumbs ups if you know someone like that. Maybe you work with someone like that in your day job, or maybe you had a manager like that in your past. I guess I should put that caveat in there just in case your manager's on here as well. But if you had one in a previous job, for example, then, you know, put it in there. So you've got people that say, well, I'm your manager. You should respect me, right? The problem is titles don't make leaders. Leaders make titles. People don't follow a leader because they want to. They follow leaders because they have to. So a title leader is someone that people follow because they have to. If you don't do this, you're going to get sacked. So you have to follow me. Now the problem with that is that if you're that kind of leader and you are being told what to do by this leader, well, what happens is, as a leader, you don't get the best out of your people. So you don't get respect. You find that people in your team will basically do the minimum level of acceptable effort. Okay, they'll do just enough to stay in a job, and you'll pay them just enough to keep them in their job, right? But everyone does the minimums. They're the kind of people that will be clock watchers. They'll watch the clock, right? They'll be like, okay, you know, at 4:45 on a Friday or every day, they're going, it's 4:45, better start tidying my desk now. So they'll start tidying their desk up, and then it's like 5 to 5. They're changing their shoes, you know, into the trainers for the tube or whatever, and then 5 on the dot. The clock strikes 5. I'm out of here. You don't get the most out of them. They do the minimum acceptable effort, just enough to keep their job, no extra, right? It's basically, what that means is it's their job to follow a title leader. It's not their desire to follow a title leader. So that's a title leader. And by the way, I could teach hours on this, but we're going to do this in, well, as quick as I can. So that's your title leader, right? The next kind of leader is what's called a relationship leader. Okay, a relationship leader. So relationship leaders are basically, they are like, they're the likable, caring leader, right? They're the people that have this kind of servant attitude. They you know, it's funny. I remember there's this, there's this, I'll come back to that quite in a second. I don't want to use my train of thought. So they're likable, they're caring, the relationships are the foundation of leadership, business and life. They don't follow people, or they don't follow people they don't like unless they have to. Okay? People follow a relationship leader because they like them. So they'll help them out. They'll do stuff because they like them. The problem with that, of course, is that it's great to have that, but if people don't like you anymore, they stop following you, which means you can become an ineffective leader. So your leadership ability is based on your popularity, not based on leadership. Okay? So you've got people who are, you know, they're all about being liked. And I remember I when I used to work I was working in a luggage and accessories shop in my very much younger years, and I was like the assistant manager of the shop, and I was the manager I was the fun manager, the friend manager, the one that everybody liked, and I was funny, and I was like, it was awesome. But the problem is that when it came to doing what they needed to do, it's like, Steve, I know we got stock take today, but is it okay if I just shoot off early because I got this? I remember I ended up doing a stock take on my own because, no problem, go for it. As a relationship leader, you're nice, and people follow you because they like you, but if they don't like you, they won't follow you. So, but to be a relationship leader, you need to be likable. You've got to know who your people are. You've got to be this kind of leader and again, you can choose what kind of leader you want to be, but you've got to be someone that knows your people. Again, I quote Art Williams often, but he's definitely one of my mentors, but I quote him often because he said, treat people like they have a flashing sign on their chest that says, make me feel special or make me feel important, right? So relationship leaders are really great at that. Get to know your people, know their family, know their kids, know who they are. Someone said, hey, do not, share your personal stuff with your team. Do not get to know your team members because maybe one day you'll have to fire them. And it's a lot harder to fire people if you're friends, right? Well, that's rubbish. Art Williams says, get into your people's business, become a friend, because you know what? Friends don't quit on friends, So you gotta be a friend. I was funny. I was just remembering a quote. I don't know if you've seen the American version of The Office, the TV series, and there's this character there. He's the boss character, and he says this quote. He says, "Someone asks me whether it's better to be loved and feared. And he said, well, my answer is I want both. I want them to be afraid of just how much they love me." And I just love that quote. Relationship leaders, they listen, they observe, they learn. They've got this servant attitude. They've got you don't work for me, I work for you. I serve you, right? You need support, I support you. That's what they do. Hey, Eva, good to see you. That's how a relationship leader is. Let me ask you this question. So have any of you, hey, Letty, good to see you, long time. Has any of you ever, in fact, let me not ask this question. Maybe you know this, but I remember I asked this guy, how many people work for you? And he said, 20 or 50 or whatever it was. I think it was 50. I said, really? I said, you have 50 people that work for you? He said, yeah, absolutely. I said, really? I don't think you have that many. He said, nope, yep, I definitely got 50. I know how many I've got on my team. I said, if you didn't pay them, would they still come to work? And he went, well, no, probably not. I said, so actually they don't work for you, they work for money, right? They work for the money they get by working at your place of business, right? Employees, they don't work for the employer, they work for the money that the employer gets. Again, I said this last week, you cannot make people follow you. You can only create an environment where people decide to follow you. And that was like the acronym LEAD we talked about last week. As a relationship leader, and again, nothing wrong with being one of these. As a relationship leader, you've got to remember that it's about getting buy-in from your people. If you're a relationship leader, you've got to get buy-in. So the saying goes that people don't care to know until they know you care. Okay, you've got to have clear goals and share these with your team. You've got to learn how to make people feel valued, right? In fact, even better than making them feel valued, actually value them. Actually value the contribution that they make. You've got to encourage people, cheerlead people often. In our business, we have this culture of cheerleading. So we cheerlead the people above us, the people below us, the people at the side of us. We cheerlead. That's what we do. There's a saying that you take your negatives up and your positives down, and the people up there will take their positives down and cheerlead. So, we do things like what's called the ABCs of the business, and the C part is cheerlead. So we teach this culture of cheerlead and positivity and that kind of stuff. And as a relationship leader, you need to foster that kind of environment. As a relationship leader, give people responsibility and involve them in something a lot bigger. They want to be a part of something, okay? So involve them in bigger. And leaders, what they do is they inspire through relationship, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, let me see hand raises or love hearts or whatever you want to post, smiley faces, anything as a relationship leader that you can use to make someone feel special. Do that one, okay? So the next kind of level of leadership, okay, is what's called, it's like the example leader. They're the leader that is the example leader. They're like a level 3 leader. They are the they lead the way, right? So they're like the tour guide, not the travel agent, right? So the tour guide says, hey, come with me, watch me. The travel agent says, okay, go over there, go to that place, right? That's the travel agent. So the leader sets the precedent, okay? They're the ones that show how it's done. And so, what does it mean when you set a precedent? What that means is you set a standard of normal behavior. So when you set a precedent, you set a standard of normal behavior. An example leader sets the standard, sets the example. I always have this phrase when we were younger, and you say, and some of you parents might even do this, you say, to your kids, go do this. And they say, why? You say, don't do as I do. No, why? You don't do it. Well, don't do as I do as I say. But, people learn by what they see, not by what you tell them. So that's a bad phrase. So if you're a parent that says that, in my view is stop it. Be the example and show them. Don't say to your kids, don't swear if you swear in front of them. Okay? That's not being a good leader. You're not being an example leader. An example leader is someone that produces results, right? They break records. They set the speed of the team. They go fast. I can say that in my team this year, I'm number 1 across, I'd say probably most categories. I'm number 1. Now, I don't need to go and do the business in the same way that they do, but I choose at the beginning of the year to say, well, I'm going to be the example to my team, and I'm going to show them that it's easy. Because in my view, it is easy and anyone can do it. All you got to do is understand it's a system, it's predictable, you follow the system and it works. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you. So that's what I do. At the beginning of the year, told my team, this is what I'm going to do for the year. And we're not even at the end of the year and I've achieved that already. And it's more than any of them have done, right? Now, that's not to say, hey, look at me, look what I did. But it's to say, as a leader, you've got to be an example leader. Okay, you produce results. You say, okay, watch me. And then you say, okay, come with me and see me. And then it's let me show you. Okay, so watch me, come with me, let me show you. Just got to get results. So example leaders get results and they inspire through the action that they do. So it's different to a relationship leader. It's not necessarily about friendship or relationship. It's about action. They inspire through action. Okay, if you know some example leaders like that, let me, give me some love hearts on there, In fact, even better, I'd like you to, at the end, remind me of this, somebody. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to post which level leader you think you are the most of, okay? So we got a couple more to go. So which level leader are you? I want you to post. Maybe right now you're thinking, yeah, that's me, relationship leader, that's it. And maybe, if we get time, there's some challenges you have by being a relationship leader. So I'm happy to do a bit of Q&A if we've got time. Okay, so the next level of leader is like, it's the developer, right? The developer. This is the level of leader that basically they understand that people are the key. They are committed to developing people, okay? In fact, in my view, if you're a true leader, you should be producing leaders. It's about reproducing after your own kind, right? It's about, I'm a leader, I'm going to produce leaders. that's the fruit. There's a saying that you know somebody or something by the fruit that they show. You can't say I'm an apple tree, but you've got no apples, right? So a developer leader, develops and reproduces leaders. Now, there's different ways that you can recruit leaders. I feel like I should write more on the board, but I kind of don't want to turn over the page. But basically, a true leader produces leaders. So the best way to develop leaders, well, the easiest way to develop new leaders is recruit great leaders, right? If you recruit great leaders, that's the easiest way. If you get a high level of quality of leader, then they're already halfway there, right? Or they're far there. And last week we talked about how to attract quality people. And if you want the easiest way to get the best leaders on your team or in your business, then the best way is to become the best leader you can be, because you will automatically attract those people. Last week we mentioned on the live about attracting quality people and how you need to develop yourself to become a quality person. So what does that mean, etc. So hey Alan, good to see you. So really appreciate you coming on every week. Alan's actually in our business, but he's in another team, and he's always coming on and really supportive, and I really appreciate that, Alan. And I know that you share this with your team, and we've had some good chats. One of the things I love about what we do is we all help each other. I don't benefit from helping other teams. It's nice to help people. If you can help people achieve their goals, it feels nice. Anyway, even if you don't make any money from it, it helps. So the higher the quality of the leader you are, the higher quality of people you can recruit and attract. Also, you've got to recruit, or when you recruit someone, you put them in the right place. So, one of the things I talked to my team about this week is operating in your superpower, staying in your lane. If you get somebody who is a great leader in one area and you put them in a completely different area that's not their strength, they're going to be ridiculous. It's like I saw this thing the other day, and I can't remember the phrase. I think I've saved it, so I'll try and post it. But it's something about I don't want to misquote it, so I'll post it after this and the picture, so you can see the phrase I'm thinking of. But basically, it's all about putting people in the wrong place. If you don't put them in the right place, you don't position them right, they don't play to their strengths, which means they're less effective as a leader. And the third thing of developing leaders, or getting the best out of leaders, or being the best leader, is equipping people, working on their strengths. So if you're a leader, it's about equipping yourself, working on your strengths. So as a leader, you've got to be a higher quality. You've got to put yourself in the right place so that you are most effective, and you've got to work on your strengths. Notice I didn't say work on your weaknesses, right? Yes, good to work on weaknesses, but work on your strengths. Your strengths are your superpower. If you're amazing at talking to people, become phenomenal at talking to people. If you're bad at admin, just hire someone to do admin, right? That's not a good use of my time to do admin. I'm not an admin person. I haven't even got great handwriting. I don't do that. What I do is I hire someone to do that stuff for me, because what I'm good at is people, coaching, developing, mentoring, expanding the business. That's my area. Training, webinars, and all the other cool stuff that I love to do. Does that make sense? Successful people position themselves well, but successful leaders position others well. Okay, I want to say that again. Successful people position themselves well, but successful leaders position other people well. Okay, I hope you wrote that down. And if you didn't, go back on replay, write it down, post it, whatever you got to do. Successful people find out what they're good at. And successful leaders find out what other people are good at. Okay? Successful people find out their strengths, they work to their strengths, but for successful leaders, find other people that are good in their strength. And then they do this thing called leverage, and they leverage other people's skills, other people's time, other people's superpower, and then they get massive results, because you can make a lot more impact using leverage than you can just using time, or your own time. Leverage other people's time, you make a bigger impact. Okay? So again, another little thing that I liked, in fact, I won't even teach this. It's a little lesson on how to equip people, but I'll leave it. Then the next level of leader, okay? And if you think you're a developer leader, in fact, post now if you think you're one of these leaders. If you think you're a title leader, you're a relationship leader, an example leader, or a developer leader. Just put in the comments now, this is the kind of leader you are. Even if you're on replay, I want you to post and see what kind of leader you are. And then we're gonna, at the end of it, we're gonna ask if you still feel the same or if you feel different, okay? So the next level of leadership is what's called the influencer, okay? There's somebody that is the people of influence, okay? Now, as an influencer, people follow you because of who you are. They follow you because of your name, because of your reputation, because of your track record, because of your integrity. You know, they follow you because you're someone they look up to. Maybe it's a coach, maybe it's a mentor. You know, maybe, you know, it's just somebody, you know, celebrities. You get people that follow them on Twitter and stuff, millions of people, because they have influence. So when you're an influencer, then you recognize that people are following you for those reasons. You have to remember that leadership is an ongoing process. And even when you think you're a good leader, you can be a better leader. Okay, so now I'm going to just draw a box around these, okay, because I'm a bit arty. All right. So these are these different levels of leadership, right? But there's a level that encompasses all of them. Yeah, I said it's the 6 levels, right? But there's 5. There's only 5 here. So there's another level here that basically, I usually put this down the bottom, but yeah, okay. Can I fit it? I usually put this down the bottom, but I'll put it down at the top. Okay? But there's a level that encompasses this whole thing. Okay? And that is that you need to learn to be a follower first. You've got to be a follower, right? You don't just jump into being a leader. You've got to be a follower first. Now, some of you, you know, I haven't seen any comments. Post some comments. Tell me what you think you are. I know, Michelle, you posted, what if you're little of all? I'm going to come to that in a second. Okay. You see, often we recognize, okay, we look at this and go, well, right now, I'm a title leader. And what I need to do is I need to get up and become a relationship leader. And then, you know, when I've mastered being a relationship leader, I need to go up to the next level. It's not a game, you know. It's not the next level, like leveling up, yeah. It's not like I'm a title leader, because I know someone who was a title leader, but also an example leader, but wasn't a great relationship leader. So to be an amazing leader, what you've got to recognize is it's not about leveling up and moving from one level to the next. What it's actually about is about filling in these boxes. Yeah, you might start out as a low-level leader, a title leader that's a manager that says, follow me because I got a title. Maybe you're that and you just didn't realize that's what you were and you feel like you've got to change it. Well, the great thing is you can change it. Start applying some of the things, building relationship, learn about cheerleading, find out people's goals, make friends, right? And develop this side of your leadership skill, become a relationship leader, you know, then you'll move on from being title. Okay, then start to set the example, be the example. So fill it out. I mean, this one lady that I know, I don't know if she's on today, but she's a good friend of mine. And she when she was developing as a leader, she was just coming up in our business. You know, she was very much a title leader. I'm the leader of this team. I've got this and you should follow me. And then she was really good at being the example. Her numbers were really good. So she's like, you should follow me because I'm the example. I've got all the numbers. But then somebody would phone her and they would say, I'll give you an example of a story. And she'd phone them up and say, hey, you know, how you doing? I notice your figures are down at the moment. You know, what's going on? Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm really going through some tough times at the moment. And some challenges. So she's like, okay, well, listen, so do you think you're going to put any numbers on the board this month? Right? So really bad at being a relationship leader. Now, a relationship leader would say, listen, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm really sorry that you're going through some tough times. Is there anything I can do? Look, do you need me to take care of your team for you while you get some time out? Is there any clients you need to look after for you so I can help you? Listen, if there's anything I can do, listen, I know you can get through this. Whatever your challenge is, don't worry, you got this, you know. And I use this phrase a lot in those situations where, listen, all I know, I don't need to know your challenge, but I know this, that whatever, and maybe this is for some of you that are watching now. Whatever storm you're going through, no matter how hard it rages, one thing we know for certain is every storm has a beginning and an end. And the only way you get through a storm is by keep sailing through it. You have to just keep going. You can't give up and die. You got to keep going through it. No matter what your challenge is, you just got to keep going through it. So that's what a relationship manager would do. They'd say, come on, you need to, you got this. I believe in you, okay? People love that you believe in them. I was chatting to one of my team the other day, and I said, you're going to achieve this position in our company. You're going to be amazing. And they've only been in with us a couple of weeks. And at the beginning, like, oh, I don't know if that's possible. Now they're like, I'm starting to believe that, Why? Because it's about, we're developing different levels of leadership. As a developer, producing leaders, you're going to get to that point where you start training people to do that. Then you become an influencer. I have people that follow me just because it's me. They're super coachable to me, and they say, tell me what I got to do, I'll do it. And that way, if I fail, it's your fault. If you say jump, I'll say how high. There's influencers. And by the way, there's not that many people at this level, There's not that many people who see you at that level. Now, this is the key, okay? Wherever you are in here, whichever those you're good at, whichever style you've got, the key is to become good at all of them, because recognize this. Everybody sees you at a different level. I want you to hear that. Everyone sees you at a different level. You see, I may have someone I've built relationship with over time who I've developed them as a leader, and they've developed leaders. And now we're at the point where I am an influencer with them. But a brand new person comes into my business. They don't know me. They don't know who I am. They just know I'm the guy with the big title. So I am a title leader to them. So as a leader, what I need to do is I need to turn them from being a title leader into being, seeing me as a different level of leader, because I can be more effective the higher level of leader that I am. So my role when someone joins me is to try and see what I can do to help them view me. Instead of being a title leader, I build relationship with them, make them feel special. Now they see me as a relationship leader. Now they look at my numbers and they see that I'm the example leader, and this is the guy to follow because he knows his stuff. He knows what he's doing and he's living this stuff. And then I start developing them as a leader, or they see me develop leaders. Now I'm the developer. And then I get to the point, hopefully, and it doesn't happen all the time, that now Steve's the one I'm going to follow because I know he's got my back. I know that he wants me to win. I'm very fortunate because, I'm all of these to different people in differing degrees. But I'm also this, and I have amazing mentors and coaches and examples that I can follow. One of my best mentors is my CEO, and he's an example. He went out last year and basically broke a record that people in the field do. He went and broke that record. Why? Just to show how easy it was. That's why I did what I did this year, because I just said, hey, he did that, I'm going to do it, right? He's got a level of influence with me that many other people don't have. He develops leaders like crazy. He's an example. He kind of ticks all these boxes for me. The only reason we use a title is if I have to introduce him to somebody as the CEO, right? But the rest of it. So I want you to think about where you are as a leader. Maybe type that. I know, Sharon typed in relationship. So yes, Sharon, so if you're a relationship leader, well, you know what? Maybe you are a relationship leader. But to someone new, maybe you're a title leader. To somebody, if you've got some success in your business, there'll be some people that might look at you as an example leader. So maybe by saying that you're a relationship leader, what you're saying is, this is where I kind of feel most comfortable as a leader. But part of growing is growing pains, right? So start thinking, well, how can I be more effective? Because the higher you are in this kind of leadership matrix, if you like, the more effective you are as a leader. It's hard to write down like this. It's like an effectiveness scale, right? Does that make sense? So let me see some love hearts, thumbs ups, and all that kind of interaction if you got something from that. I'm conscious of time. We've got about 5 minutes over my normal time. So if you think this is of value, please share this with other people, groups, teams, whatever, that you feel is going to help people. And of course, by all means, check out my YouTube channel. Just Google Steve Obridge and you'll find me, I'm sure. In fact, if you just Google Steve Obridge, you'll probably find me anyway. And please feel free to connect, follow, set to see first, and all the other stuff that everyone that does lives tells you to do. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Live with Steve-O, or Live with Steve-O. And hopefully it's going to make your lives a lot better by tuning in every week. Take care, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.